Okay, so let me just read it out. It's, hello, English learner. Welcome to our channel, English Learning Master. Let's start our today's video. And that's it.
We all know that feeling, right? That moment when you need to apologize.
Yeah.
Or maybe see something really important to someone you care about.
Or just figure out where things stand in a relationship.
Exactly. And getting the words right, well, it can make a huge difference.
You really can.
So today, we're doing a deep dive, looking at something maybe a little unexpected. It's a YouTube video for English language learners.
Yeah, it features this dialogue between a boyfriend and girlfriend.
And while the goal there is English practice, the phrases they use, they actually tell us a lot about communication in general, especially, in romantic relationships.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how these everyday expressions kind of unlock the basics of connection, showing affection, handling those trickier conversations.
So our mission today is to unpack some of these key phrases. We want to see what insights they offer, because even simple words can carry, well, a lot of weight.
Think of it as getting under the hood of relationship language.
Okay, let's start with something really fundamental. The language of love itself. The dialogue used to love and to be in love with.
Right. And while that might seem basic for native speakers, it points to a really important distinction we all kind of understand intuitively.
What's the core difference there, really?
Well, the source points out that being in love with someone, that's usually reserved for that intense romantic feeling, your partner or your spouse.
Okay.
You can absolutely love your parents, your siblings, your friends deeply. But being in love signals something different, a specific kind of emotional investment.
It implies a different set of expectations, maybe.
Often, yes. And just recognizing that difference helps you understand, your own feelings and how others talk about theirs.
Right, that focused intensity. Okay, shifting gears a bit, another phrase that popped up. Can we talk?
Ah, yes. Seems simple enough on the surface.
But think about how it feels when someone says that to you. It's rarely just casual, is it?
Exactly. The video nails this. It's not like saying, hey, what's up? Can we talk? Acts like a verbal cue. A signal.
Yeah, a signal that the conversation's about to get more serious. It kind of prepares the listener, like, okay, this might be important, maybe difficult.
You brace yourself a little.
You wouldn't use it to discuss, I don't know, the weather forecast.
Definitely not. It's like a little warning bell. Okay, and then there's this phrase we use all the time, almost without thinking. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a great one. Such a little workhorse in conversation.
We just sprinkle it in everywhere.
We do.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is how its meaning can shift just based on how you say it. The source touched on this.
How so?
Well, if you say it as a statement, sort of trailing off like, things have been weird lately, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're kind of looking for shared understanding, maybe empathy.
Right, like, are you feeling this too?
Exactly. But if you say it with a rising tone, like a real question, we agreed on this plan, you know what I mean? Then you're actively asking for confirmation.
Ah, okay. So it's asking, do you actually get it? Or do you agree? Precisely. It shows how subtle shifts in, intonation can totally change the dynamic.
It's like a quick check-in for understanding. Okay, let's look at phrases that deal more with the bigger picture of a relationship, the question where this relationship is going. That's a big one.
Huge. Yeah, it's loaded, isn't it? It's fundamentally asking about the future, about expectations, about the path you're on together.
Where do you see this heading?
Exactly. And what's neat is how the source shows the structure isn't just for relationships. We use it all over.
Like what?
Well, you might ask, where is my career going in this company? Or where's the plot of this movie going? Even, where's this meeting going if it feels endless?
Okay, fair point.
It just highlights this basic human need we have to understand the direction of things, to anticipate what's next, whether it's love or work or, just a story.
Trying to grasp the narrative arc. Makes sense. Then there's that slightly hesitant phrase, maybe it's just time we. It often sort of hangs there.
Leave something unsaid. The power is in that openness, that slight pause before the suggestion.
Yeah, it feels gentler somehow, or maybe more ominous depending on the context.
Right. And the examples they give show the range. It could be, maybe it's just time we break up. Very serious.
Whoa, yeah.
Or it could be, maybe it's just time we talked honestly about finances. Or maybe it's just time we went on that trip we planned.
So it could introduce something huge or just a next step.
Exactly. It's often a way to gently broach a significant topic, giving the other person a moment to prepare for whatever follows that we.
That little gap is doing a lot of work. Okay, looking back now, the phrase, "we've had our laughs," came up, focusing on the good times.
Yes, highlighting shared positive memories. But the source material did a nice job expanding on that, showing variations.
What else did it mention?
Well, we've had our ups and downs. That acknowledges everything, the good and the bad, a fuller picture.
Okay, more balanced.
Then we've had our moments. Which is interesting because it can mean big events, good or bad, or it can mean those particularly special, memorable times. Context is key there.
Right. And I think it also mentioned, "we've had our issues."
Yes, that one's pretty direct. Clearly points to past difficulties or conflicts you've worked through or maybe are still working through.
So each phrase paints a slightly different picture of the shared history.
Precisely. It's like choosing which angle to view your past from. Language lets us frame that shared story.
That's really interesting. Okay, let's shift gears to something maybe a bit lighter. Pet names.
Terms of endearment.
Yes. The dialogue had honey and baby. Pretty standard ones, I guess.
Very common in English, yeah. Widely used, widely understood ways to show affection, warmth.
But the source went further, didn't it?
It did. It offered a whole bunch more, like sweetheart, darling, sweetie, cutie, all in that same warm, affectionate zone.
A whole vocabulary of sweetness. And then it got into the more creative ones.
Yeah. Yes, the playful or maybe slightly cheesy examples, things like snookums or honey bunny.
Right. Sweetie pie, Pooh Bear. I think dumpling was even mentioned.
It was. And these really highlight how personal pet names can be. Couples often make up their own, things that might sound totally bizarre to anyone else.
Inside jokes, almost.
Exactly. It's like a private language. And that really builds intimacy, strengthens the connection.
That makes sense. And it touched on how the literal meaning doesn't always matter, right? With those examples from other languages.
Absolutely. The Spanish gorda, which literally means fat, but used affectionately between partners. Or the French ma puce, like my flea.
My flea. See? Yeah. Literally makes no sense.
None at all. But it's the feeling behind it, the shared understanding within that specific relationship. That's what gives it meaning.
And it shows how cultural context plays a huge role, too.
Definitely. What's sweet or normal in one place might seem odd somewhere else. You really need to understand the context.
So wrapping this up, it's amazing how much we pulled from just looking closely at phrases from essentially an English lesson video.
It really is. We've seen how language marks different kinds of love, how it signals serious talks, expresses hopes for the future, frames the past.
All through these seemingly simple phrases.
And even the fun stuff like pet names tells us about intimacy, about culture, about that unique couple dynamic.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. Consider the pet names you use, or the ones you hear around you.
Or maybe the absence of pet names.
Good point. What do those choices, those little words or lack thereof actually reveal about the connections, the history, maybe even the cultural background of those relationships?
How are these small linguistic habits shaping the way you connect and understand the people closest to you?